Alright guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different. Today we're going to be playing some Pauper. I love playing Pauper every now and then. I love different strategies in Pauper, so why not show that on the channel as well. To start things off in a beginner-friendly way, we're going to be playing some Mono Red today. And Mono Red is, as is often the case, a very aggressive deck looking to close out the game fast. And how do we do that? So, pretty straightforward mana base. We do play Great Furnace. We'll come back to the reason why. We have a pretty nice 1-drop here in Goblin Blast Runner. 1 mana, 1/2, and if you sacrifice the permanent, it gets +2/+0 Menace. So we can sacrifice permanents in numerous ways. We have Implement, we have Seal of Fire, we have Kuldotha Rebirth. So all in all, we're trying to trigger that card, get in for 3, and if it does anything more than 3, it's obviously a good deal compared to something like Chain Lightning. All right, Goblin Tomb Raider. I remember this card was briefly legal alongside Monastery Swiftspear, but it basically replaced that card. In Pauper, Swiftspear got banned, and Goblin Tomb Raider is just awesome. Just imagine you go turn 1 Great Furnace, Tomb Raider, then all of a sudden you have a card that makes Goblin Guy. It looks like a bad joke. This card is good. You want to start the game on a 1-drop, and yeah, this card is awesome. There'll be some mid to late game situations where this card from the top of your deck will represent 2 damage, and the opponent kind of has to do the guessing game. If they stay back, and you don't draw it, that's bad for them. If they don't stay back and you draw it, then it's bad for them. So I've definitely been in some tough spots where should I play around the Tomb Raider or not? And yeah, we hope to put our opponent to the test today. Then we have Kuldotha Rebirth. This card is not anything special on surface, but it's very awesome in practice, like in a format full of, fairies or just like some walls or whatever. This is just like 3 power that can keep going at it. It makes it so that the opponent's sweeper effects are good, but if you don't draw Rebirth, those cards are bad, and you can kind of get the good end of that exchange more often than not. Then we have Valerian Epicure, just like super solid card. I actually forgot to mention that before when I was talking about ways to trigger the Blast Runner. 1/1 pings for 1 and makes a blood token. The blood token can filter a land into a spell in the later stages of the game. That's like the Dream, right? You get a little bit of selection, you get a little bit of artifact count, you get a sacrifice outlet, and it kind of looks like NBA legend Charles Barkley. So yeah, all around great card. Burn department, we have like the normal cards like Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt. Then I'm running a split of Galvanic Blast, which is like let's call it a shock with some upside, and the Seal of Fire. Seal of Fire is good because it you sacrifice a permanent. Also, sometimes it's good to invest the mana early and just have it like lying there in play. I play 4 Implements of Combustion. This card doesn't look like much on surface, but it's good with Blast Runner. It's good with I always want to call it Kuldotha Forge Master, but Kuldotha Rebirth, and it's just like cycle, move on with life, right? I do play a little bit of Silver Bullets here. I play 1 and the Festivities in the main deck. It's a sweeper that is at the very worst 1 damage for 1 mana, which is obviously not good, but combined with the fact that we have our mirror matches, we have our fairy matchups, we have our Squadron Hawks and Sacred Cats in the metagame. This card is a decent main deck card. I play a single copy of Goblin Grenade. That's like my, let's call it a pet card, for the lack of a better word. It's a card that I really like to see game 1. Sometimes it can throw off the opponent's math because no other card is able to do 5 damage for 1 mana. Definitely a cool card. Then this deck has a little bit of durability, card advantage, grind element here, a couple of reckless impulses / rend resolve. Should be a 2 mana draw 2. That's just solid. And we have experimental synthesizer, which helps the artifact count, helps grind away. You can sacrifice it to forge. Keep doing it. It's impressive. Kuldotha Rebirth in the mid game and get some good value out of it. And yeah, the 2/2 Vigilance is nothing to sneeze at in the late game as well. I wanted to mention one more card that I forgot. Yeah, where are we? Yeah, Goblin Bushwhacker. So, Goblin Bushwhacker represents, it's basically just like you're trying to make this a big burn spell. And it's especially good if you have 3 mana, a Rebirth, and a Bushwhacker at any time in the mid game. and you can kind of dome your opponent out of nowhere. So yeah, that card is quite strong in closing out games. In the sideboard, we're addressing blue, graveyard, Moment's Peace, Prismatic Strands, Affinity, and we have some more sweepers for the stuff I mentioned before. So like Pseudo Mirrors, Squadron Hawks, Sacred Cats, Fairies, stuff like that. Yeah, I think that'll do it for this deck tech. I'm going to jump into some games. Let's see if we can showcase some of the stuff we talked about. Don't go anywhere. All right, round one with Mono Red and Pauper. This hand is awesome. This hand has the Artifact land alongside double Tomb Raider, even Kuldotha. Yeah, this will be awesome. By the way, we should count how many times I say something about Forge Master, because in my mind, Kuldotha's Forge Master is like uh the go-to for this card. Oh, and all of a sudden, I didn't play Magic for a few days, and now I'm playing against a new card. 1/2 with first strike. Okay. So the new set just released yesterday, I believe, and I could already be behind. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I'm behind on the curve here. 1/2 first strike. Haste. Huh. I'm trying to understand what this card wants to do. It wants to attack sometimes, and then in the mid to late game, you can crack it for a new card. Okay. It might be good. I don't know. I don't know. In the mirror, it has good stats against Kuldotha, which is annoying. Let's see. I just assume my opponent has a lightning bolt here. Let's just play one more 2/2 and get in for damage. We're kind of winning this race. The key to the mirror when I played it had a lot to do with like figuring out who's attacking and who's defending. And once you've figured out that, it's kind of easy to decide whether you're just supposed to keep attacking or you're supposed to defend and like prolong the game, right? Reckless Lackey. So I'm very bad with new cards, like evaluating. So if you have this card turn 1, you kind of get in for some damage. Then the opponent has to keep a creature back, and then you can kind of crack it later. I don't know. So here I think it's a good block once the opponent kind of showed their ability to keep attacking. Let's see. The last 2 cards are in the opponent's hand. One was Implement, and the second is Rebirth. Okay, so we definitely have a game on our hands here, which is kind of awesome. I draw the land, which is not bad. So let's see here. Is it time to play slow? Could be. So I can go Implement, then Rebirth, draw a card, see what happens. The other play I have is go Ren's Resolve, kind of look deeper for stuff like the Bushwhacker, but I don't think that makes sense, to be honest. I want to take a page out of the opponent's book here. Land didn't exactly help me. Let's deploy the Implement and pass the turn. Here I'm kind of ready to say, okay, let's stall out this game. I have a draw 2 in hand. Maybe the longer game should benefit me. And then here's a Synthesizer with a Bushwhacker. So the good thing about the Bushwhacker is I can still make the trades I wanted to make. But I will take some damage, and the opponent is left with a couple of creatures, so not ideal. So here, block. I'm gonna take 3 here, trade off. Yeah, this is tough. The Bushwhacker definitely makes things hard. Another Combustion. Let's try with the Ren's Resolve here and see what we can find. Last Runner and okay, I mean those are good cards. So I can go land, play my creature, And then I can kind of... let's see. I'm putting with one card in hand. Maybe I'm supposed to attack with the 2/2. Is that correct? I'm actually gonna pass here. I feel like I'm in decent shape here if I don't get too low on life. Very tough game to start out with here. I can't wait to... Ooh, another Bushwhacker. Okay, so at least it's good at an attack. Yeah, the opponent's trying to do the same, then they're left with the creature, so block. Yeah, I feel like I should block here. I'm at 8. The opponent has a 1/2. It ain't easy. Lightning Bolt is a decent card to stem the bleeding, so I think I'm supposed to sacrifice the implement, see what's going on. Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is not good right now because the opponent has 2 red mana up. I don't think that's worth it. So maybe I go implement. See what we draw. Synthesizer. So let's kill that card before the opponent has 3 mana up. Synthesizer was a good draw. It lets me kind of, battle with my opponent's Synthesizer. Now the opponent has a 2/2. The land I don't care about, so that was fine. Let's see what the last card is. Another Lackey. Now the opponent is down to 1 mana, so now is a good time to Chain Lightning this turn cycle. Let's see what I draw. Rebirth. Okay, that's kind of sick, because now I can go Synthesizer. Didn't hit the best. Ah, that's actually good. I didn't see it was a Seal of Fire. Okay. Seal of Fire is a good hit. Let's see if we can hit another 1-drop. Yeah, that is a 1-drop. That I can't dispute that, but yeah, 1 damage. I think maybe I just kill that. Yeah, let's kill that card now. So if the opponent attacks, I can double block. I didn't get to Chain Lightning that turn, but it is what it is. The opponent drew a land. They can filter their blood. I also have that kind of fail rate for later. Ooh, Synthesizer. Nice card. In turn of the mountain. Then they can make another 2/2. Tap down to 1 mana. So I now have another window to Chain Lightning. Galvanic Blast. Wonder... My opponent should probably... Okay, so they decide to clear my board here. Block with everything. The opponent can leave me with a 1/1, Galvanic Blast me down to 5. That would probably be my play. Yeah, this is anyone's game. I'm a little bit behind because of life total. Okay, my opponent just has to clear my board entirely. I'm at 7. I actually think that's fine for me. Let's see what we draw. Goblin Grenade. That's a very bad card right now. So the question is that Goblin Grenade? Yeah, I actually think I'm going to hang on to it, at least for 1 turn. Because that Goblin Grenade is not nothing when it comes to finishing this game. And, like, Tomb Raider, or the other Goblin, those are good draws, so who knows? I'm going to Blood Away the Mountain. Draw another one. Yeah, this is quite bad, but I like how we played. The opponent did stick double Bushwhacker, so but they drew more lands, I guess. Okay, so draw Epicure. I'm actually going to crack the blood right away to get rid of this Furnace. It's very, very important to think about like when to slow roll lands that are in this deck. Obviously, Voldarian Epicure is not a goblin, so the Goblin Grenade is a brick right now. Let's see, the opponent's at 11. They have 2 cards in hand. Now they have 3 1/1s. It's a big problem. Okay. Epic here. It's building the 1/1s in a way less efficient way, I would say. Now, just because of the life total, I feel like I should double block here to stem the bleeding, but it's not the best way to deal with rebirth. Huh. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Aside from the fact that I might not play like an up-to-date list. I don't know about the lackey. I don't know if it's great or not, but I didn't see the card until now. But aside from that, I think this is quite useful just to navigate the mono red mirror and kind of who's the beatdown, which is basically what it comes down to. So I'm at 5 here. The opponent has creatures in play. Really not ideal. Even if I draw a goblin, I don't have lethal. Actually, if it's the 2/2 haste, I would have lethal. Whoa. If my opponent has nothing, I just found lethal. Bushwhacker. Attack for 2. Dome my opponent with grenade. Wow! So the grenade got the job done. That's so exciting. Like every time I play, so like a month or two ago, I played a lot of mono red and Pauper. Well, maybe not a lot, but I played it like a handful of challenges. I remember I got 3 top 8s in a row with mono red, and Goblin Grenade just kept being great in game ones. So I actually had 2 in my list at some point. So let's see. Very nice ending to that game. I didn't expect that at all. So, okay, the mirror, or like chain lightning, you can consider cutting because it's kind of, timing based. I also like cutting Bushwhacker, and I don't know how many, to be honest. Maybe I cut Goblin Grenade. I think the fear of that card is just better than, because the game is most likely to come down to trade resources, trade resources, trade resources, right? So I think I sideboard like this, trim a chain lightning, trim a Bushwhacker, and get rid of the grenade. Then I still have like the core of my deck, and I add some more sweepers. So in this matchup, the opponent might want to set up like play Kuldotha, play Bushwhacker on the same turn. That's where like trigger rate becomes insane. And end the festivities, it's just like you just don't want your opponent to have goblin tokens like attacking over and over. Then I think you're in trouble. All right, we're on the draw here. I have 3 lands, which is not ideal at all. Like, but it is what it is. Like this deck, if you only draw 1 land, you can win. If you start drawing like as many lands as the opponent just drew, it can be tough to win as well. Reckless Lackey. I need to look up look up some lists afterwards. I'm already trying to think about what I would cut from this deck to fit that card. Okay, that's not terrible. I think it's better to just play the Blast Runner and say you need to kill this card. Like, and if you don't, then it's going to be good for me. Then I can crack Seal of Fire, kill the Lackey, get in for a bunch. But yeah, chances are those creatures are never going to stick. Ooh, very nice from the opponent here. Very nice. Double Lackey. And the good thing about that card is they can keep attacking through 1/1s. All right, all right. I'll double in the festivities here. It's quite annoying because now I'm going to be worse against Kuldotha later in the game, but it is what it is. I go down to 15 here, opponent with 2 cards left. I have a Seal of Fire for the Tomb Raider. Oh, the opponent even had that. Okay, so the opponent had quite the hand, and I kind of got baited into that play. So let's see if I find a land there. And now things become kind of interesting because I kind of have to, stem the bleeding in some way, but it's just very bad. Aside from killing the Tomb Raider, it's very bad. But I think I have no choice. I don't think I'm winning this game if I take 4 here, so I'm gonna lightning bolt even though I don't like it. We will have a tough time drawing out of this, I feel like. Make it... Okay. That's one of the best hits I can imagine. So now we have our own goblin tokens alongside a samurai, but we're still super flooded, so we need our opponent to have bad draw steps. And we need some good draw steps. It's complicated, for sure. Yeah, that card is annoying. The opponent can't attack here, and we do it. And we draw a good card. Lightning Bolt. So maybe... It's actually, yeah, it's just... that was bad sequencing. So let's see. What if I go like this? Attack, attack. One more, maybe? Okay, I can see that. It's kind of a gamble, but it's decent. Let's see what the opponent can do about this attack. They take the damage. So they might have a bushwhacker in hand. No. Yeah, maybe they have like a bushwhacker or a sweeper. It could also be... Okay. Okay, this is good. This is good for me. This makes my previous attack very strong. Now I think even I can consider attacking with everything. I like that. Let's attack with everything here and kind of put my opponent on a lot of pressure. Lightning Bolt was a decent draw. Like, my opponent has one card. That could easily be Lightning Bolt. Then again, why wouldn't you just kill the Samurai and keep attacking? Yeah, my opponent's last card is not a Lightning Bolt. I feel like it's a land. The opponent goes for the triple block. They don't want to get blown out by a burn spell, so that's fine. I put my opponent to 11. I have a Bolt, and I have the advantage on board. So all of a sudden, now I'm ahead in this game. The thing is, the opponent will have 3 or 4 sweepers in the deck that would kind of crush me. But the damage is somewhat done now that the opponent is down to just 1 goblin. The sweeper is threatening when we both have like an amount of creatures in play. But let's see what's going on here. I might, if the opponent attacks with both here, I feel like I should lightning bolt one to preserve the damage. Yeah, let's do that. So I go to an 8, and I can attack my opponent down to 8, but I'm ahead on board. So I like my spot here, but anything can happen. Anything can happen for sure. Especially because, yeah, that's bad. Especially because my read is that my opponent's last card is a land. The way that they didn't play anything and just played the Bushwhacker there after clearing their whole board, so the Bushwhacker was way worse. Now it's possible the opponent has a Lightning Bolt in hand or Galvanic. Okay, I draw the Bushwhacker. That is a very good draw at this stage of the game, so... And I don't think they have Electrickery, then they would have attacked. So now the opponent will go to 2. They have a Galvanic, they'll go to 4. I'm firmly in the driver's seat here. Now even any burn spell outside of, like, Implement is lethal. Let's see, I go to 7 here, so... I mean, technically, the opponent can do some good things with, like, draw 2 or whatever. Okay, the opponent didn't find anything. Yeah, this game was strange. The opponent drew... Let's see, the opponent drew 7 lands. I drew 6 lands, but my spells were just, like, better and more clutch, I guess. And then I had the Bushwhacker to kind of put the game out of reach. Okay, so... We got to showcase him on a red mirror, like the back and forth. Who's the beatdown? I really like my attack in this game, where I kind of get the sense that I've stabilized with the 2/2, and I start attacking. I still keep 1 back, like finding a good balance of giving the opponent the least amount of draw steps, while also not playing like with your head under your arm. I don't know if that metaphor translates, but and just you have to respect your life total and like the probability of them turning the corner. So hand reading is also very important. And then, of course, the Goblin Grenade tech. It was kind of cool to get the job done with that game 1 out of nowhere. The naked Bushwhacker put my opponent to 7. I have 2 cards in hand. No other 2 cards can do it aside from, Goblin Grenade and a Burn Spell, and I have it. That's just kind of awesome. All right. That was a cool round 1, and also cool I got to see a new card that I'll consider for the future, and you definitely should as well. Let's see if we can keep the winning up. All right, round 2. We're on the draw. I'm playing Mono Red and Pauper. We just took down a mirror match in the first round. My opponent's mulliganing to 5 here. So what do we have? So the thing is, I just auto keep. I saw 2 lands and 5 spells, and then we kind of figure it out as we go. So let's see here. We have a grenade for later. Have a little bit of cheap removal, a little bit of card draw, a little bit of rebirthing. Okay, this is cool. Oh, nice. Voldaren Epicure. That's a good draw because you always want to lead on a creature turn 1, which is also why I can't stop thinking about that Reckless Lackey. My opponent's most likely on Affinity. Ooh, nice draw. But I think it's more important to get the Rebirth going, to be honest. Maybe not actually, because this has Menace if I go Rebirth next turn. Huh. Okay, so I can play that and develop a Seal, I guess? Or Combustion. Maybe Combustion better. Yeah, let's do that. Attack for 1. So what you want to be looking for, just like in any other formats you can think about, like old modern, like Swift Spear, Goblin Guide, stuff like that, you want to have your, like, the damage sources that kind of keeps going, right? That's what you want to be doing. Like, Chain Lightning is just 1 time 3 damage, but the creatures, they can kind of go over and over. What we do have to worry about in this matchup is, getting it just rebuked. Okay, that's totally fine. Rebuke it is. I still get in for this turn. I was about to say you need to worry about Kark Clan Shaman in this matchup, which, yeah, it's a good sweeper, but I think early on, just putting pressure on the opponent is important. Like, if they need to sacrifice 2 artifacts right now, it might not be that fun. So I'm not too scared of that. So let's see if we can do anything cool here. I can play Seal of Cleansing, sacrifice that. The thing is, I want to sacrifice. I want to trigger my Blast Runner this turn. So I have different options. I can just crack a blood, see what's going on. I can play Seal and kind of just shock my opponent with that. Maybe I like that the most, actually. Or I can start my turn by going Ren's Resolve. But I like Ren's Resolve later better, actually, because it's better to just play the card most of the time when you're out of gas, so to speak. But I also have to think a little bit about my mana here. Like, I go Seal of Cleansing, and then I kind of waste my mana. Because, like, casting this card is, like, super sad. But maybe I can blot that away. And then... Maybe if I start the turn doing that, maybe that's better. Then we can kind of see what's going on. I draw into a Tomb Raider. That is clutch. Let's play Tomb Raider. The opponent might have another Rebuke here. They don't. Okay. So I guess we just attack here. Then I develop the Steel and take it from there. It's kind of strange, like Affinity playing out nothing. Okay, 2 mana removal, totally fine. The opponent takes 4. Go to 9. So what I could do here is make sure to resolve the grenade, but I actually don't think it's that crucial right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'll play Seal, pass. Could have resolved the grenade, put my opponent to 4. So the kind of annoying thing is here, when I attack, if my opponent has another removal, they are going to kill my only goblin. Maybe the answer is just that Goblin Grenade will be fine eventually. Like, I'll find stuff. Okay, so these cards aren't the best right now. I feel like I should just start by attacking. Okay, I mean, at this stage, my opponent is dead in numerous ways. I have Chain Lightning plus Seal and I have Goblin Grenade. This game was not. This game was not competitive at all. Goblin Grenade, and yeah, we take game one against Affinity that didn't do anything. Like played some lands, played 3 1-for-1s. That's just not gonna cut it, to be honest. So Affinity is a tough matchup. Their main way of beating me is stabilizing the board with bigger creatures like Mirror Enforcer. And, clutch Hydroblasts out of the sideboard. So I can easily cut the End of Festivities. I can easily cut the Grenade. I think I can trim a Bushwhacker because against quad Hydroblast, it's just less likely that that plan is going to work. Now I need to cut one more card. Usually you can trim like Seal of Fire. I don't think that card is crucial to the plan. Card like Chain Lightning, kind of the same thing. I don't really know if the opponent's on like Frogmites or whatever, so maybe it's better to have Galvanic Blast because it actually sometimes can kill a Mirror Enforcer. Yeah, maybe just cutting a Seal of Fire is fine. Seal of Fire or Chain Lightning. Should be okay. Okay, I'll try this. You can consider having Pyroblast to fight Hydroblast, but yeah, I need to see that my opponent has, like, if they have blue-based threats, I'll definitely consider it. Could be something like, I don't know, Somber Hover Guard, Gearseeker Serpent, stuff like that, right? Okay, this hand is cool. They have some interaction. It's kind of awkward, actually, with... Okay, I just drew the best card in my deck. I was about to say it's awkward with Synthesizer. I might have to play, like, a bad Synthesizer. But yeah, this is just... This solves a lot. So now I'm definitely looking to see if that Smash to Smithereens is going to be a Stone Rain plus deal 3. But if the opponent's on Indestructible Bridges only, it can be very tough. Let's see. So yeah, I think I just attack, kind of hope to get Hydroblasted, and then I'll upkeep Smash to Smithereens. My opponent doesn't bite. I will do the Smash on the upkeep here to... If it works, great. If it doesn't, at least I steal a mana, so... Smash to Smithereens, getting... Got it, getting Disputed. So I didn't get any damage out of it. The opponent kind of countered it. But I did get my opponent to spend some mana at a kind of awkward time, so... Sometimes that's okay. So, let me think here. If I attack, my opponent has a Hydroblast. They want to save the 2 life. They have to sacrifice a treasure token. That would be good for me. But I think the upside of hitting something with haste off the Synthesizer, I think that's too big. And I want to do it first. Lightning Bolt. That's not terrible. Huh. So now the question is, do I Rebirth away the Synthesizer, well knowing if I hit a 1-drop, I can only cast one of those, like Bolt or that one, or am I sacking a land? Actually don't think it's bad to sacrifice a land here. So I can attack here, and I'm going to sacrifice Great Furnace for Rebirth, number 1. I am secretly hoping to get Hydroblasted here, but let's see, like that. We bolt before it's too late. Opponent's at 11 here, so I'm working on their life total for sure, but I also expect my board to get swept next turn. I feel like if it doesn't, I'm winning pretty handily. The opponent needs to address the board now, or I think it's too late. Candy Trail, a little bit of selection, a little bit of life gain, I believe. Yep. A little bit of life gain for later. The opponent's passing there. I mean, I'm going to just go to combat. The opponent could have the 3-mana sweeper. That's how it goes. Here's Breath Weapon, killing any all non-dragons. And now let's see if we can get lucky here on the rebirth. We didn't get lucky, we didn't get unlucky either. Actually, just decent hit, something you can play that isn't a land. Should I chain lighting my opponent here down to 8? That's the big question. Okay, just chain lighting our opponent down to 8. I have 3 power in play. I have a cantrip card with 1 damage attached. I can play whatever I draw. The opponent needs to do something about the guys in play. Okay, yeah. So now the opponent can sweep with the Shaman. There's Blood Fountain, so they can kind of do that later as well. So now I don't think I can lean on small creatures to get the job done. So cool little detail here. The opponent's passing the turn here because I have a lot of haste creatures. So by waiting until beginning of combat or like declaring attackers or whatever, it's just good. It's just good sequencing from the opponent. Nothing. I think because no, I don't. Let's see. I was about to say since I played Goblin Grenade, but I sideboarded that card out. So that doesn't really work. Okay, I think I'm just supposed to attack here because if I get in for any kind of damage here, the opponent just has to sacrifice whatever. So I kind of want to force that issue. Let's see here. I put my opponent to 7. Yeah, it's almost there. The problem is this Candy Trail, I think. And I don't think it makes any sense to kill the Mirror Enforcer because my opponent has Blood Fountain, can kind of get it back, so let's cast Chain Lightning. Or so I don't want to get. I feel like this is the part of the game where I don't want to get disputed, rebuked rather. So yeah, I don't know. Opponent gains 3, up to 7. 7 is a bad number for me here. Yeah, I'm not in good shape here. I feel like I need to hit some burn spells in a row, and my opponent not to have anything. So that card is going to get rebuked no matter what. It is the deal 2 spell, so I'm gonna try my hardest here. Where's the Goblin Grenade when you need it? Oh, here's a what? Oh, opponent gains 9 life. Yeah, that's sick. Reckoner's Bargain, sacrificing Mirror Enforcer. Ooh. That is a very good, like, just good card in the deck. Incidentally, insane against what I've got going on. Okay, so I see this affinity list definitely implemented some more incidental life gain, like Candy Trail and Limbus. That's bad news for Mono Red in general. Play Epicure. Crack the Blood. I do get a Tomb Raider, but no artifact in play. So let's see. The opponent can bring back the Shaman. So I'm actually not gonna play. Is that correct? I'm not gonna play the Tomb Raider. Looks kind of bad, but I think it's correct. The opponent can gain 3 with the bread. Yeah, this is not going in the right direction for me. Once the opponent kind of has, swept the board and the ability to do it once more, that's bad news. There's a Serpent. Okay. So this Affinity Egg is very controlling. Synthesizer. Let's see. This is probably, if the opponent has a Hydroblast, I would say it's a good target. Oh. Let's just smash a blue land. I just feel like the opponent has too many cards here to not just beat me, but we have to play our chance. Okay, so that got countered. Interesting. I think if I'm the opponent, I just counter the synthesizer. The artifact in play can matter. The value later on with the 2/2 can matter. I'm gonna take the damage here, even though it could be a losing battle. I think I'm just too far from home here. Also, the opponent can just bring back Shaman and another Enforcer. Yeah, 13 is too much. 13 is definitely too much. Here's 6 damage. Yeah, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. It was looking cool there for a second, but the sweeper was very, let's say, easy to see coming, but I don't think I had many more choices there. There's an argument that Bushwhacker isn't the greatest, but then again, it doesn't take like much more than the opponent tapping out for some random setup artifact, and I get one swing in, and that can kind of seal the game. So I'm gonna keep it. So let's see if that hand can produce that. I have turn 1 Tomb Raider. It's very good combo to have turn 1 Great Furnace with Tomb Raider. That'll do a lot for your win percentage. Turn 1 Candy Trail. Sure. I can get Blast Runner, Chain Lightning if nothing else. That's not bad. Blast Runner, Chain Lightning, attack for 2. So, as I talked about the Bushwhacker, I'm hoping my opponent has shield down this turn. Doesn't look like it though. Let's see. So there's a chance I can. It's very slim to be honest that I can bait with Chain Lightning. I mean, I'll try. Really don't think it's gonna work. And then I'm gonna play the Bushwhacker. If that gets countered, it doesn't. Yeah, this is a problem for the opponent. This is a lot of damage. Now the opponent's down to 3 already. No Hydroblast in that hand. Here's a Shaman. The opponent needs to sacrifice 2 permanents to get rid of my stuff. Opponent's at 3. I drew a Bolt, so let's see. I attack. The opponent has to use the Shaman, I would guess. Yeah, I feel like if the opponent was gonna do that, they should have just done it earlier. So I drew the Bolt, and I can punish in response here. That's just if that's your plan anyway, just do it and get it over with. Like the opponent's not representing anything there that's gonna change my play, but they, for no reason, lose to me drawing a lightning bolt or having it already, I guess. Yeah, okay. We were kind of lucky here, but we did some good choices. We did what we had to do, like emptying the burn spells late or early on to use our mana proficiently. We found a window for Bushwhacker. If the opponent has a Hydroblast in that spot, we can't do it. But that's what it is with this deck. You need to just go to the woods, turn the stones over, see if there's anything good under it. And today, so far, there's been a few wins under the stones. So yeah, let's see if we can continue. All right, round 3. I'm playing Mono Red and Pauper, getting ready for the weekend showcase. And yeah, so far we're doing great. We're 2-0, and I'm on the play. So no Hasty Boy here. But I think that's okay. I feel like I still played turn 1, then turn 2. I'm attacking for 2, and then second main phase Rebirth. I can't remember. I've seen my opponent's name multiple times before. It could be some fairy action. I can't remember. I guess I misremembered. So I guess my Tomb Raider is Dayit. Okay. So maybe this is another mirror match. Who knows? Okay, I drew Tomb Raider, which is not bad. Question is, no. I think it's better to get the 1/1s into play. Draw card. Bad draw. So this is one of the situations where I've drawn 4 lands. Chances are one of them is going to be Great Furnace, so should be okay, but all the mountains are really not that great here. So land, play that ass, and then we can. I don't think I'm supposed to force in 2 damage here. The next turn, hopefully, I can find something to remove my opponent's blocker. The opponent's stalling on lands here, but the thing is, if I don't start pressuring the opponent, once they find a second land, I'm in trouble. So I have to do some good things here. Another Tomb Raider, which is kind of funny. And another land, so we definitely have a game on our hands here. So maybe I'm supposed to go Tomb Raider, double attack. Stay back with these boys? Stay back with these boys or attack. Maybe attacking is great here. Okay. So my opponent's taking 5. I'm gonna rebirth away the synthesizer. Come on, deck. Another land. Yeah. Okay. We could be in trouble here if my opponent finds the second land, or even that card, and I don't have an artifact, then I can't attack. If this game, it's horrible. If this game comes to a stall, I was about to say, I'm in big trouble. Because in these games, it's like the mana screw. Like once my opponent finds the second land, they can unload 2 spells a turn, and then I'm stuck here with nothing. So my insane start has definitely been brought to a halt. Yeah, if I have any artifact there, I can keep attacking, but it just has to do with like the land spell ratio. It's just that's just how it is. Somebody way cleverer than me, like made a mana base with the amount of lands, and I've liked it a lot. But sometimes you just get this bad land spell ratio. That being said, that was just the best draw in my deck, and yeah, this is a lot of damage. So my opponent, yeah, they'll take a bunch of damage here. Now they can't even eat any small guys, so they can do the double trade there, take 10. Now it's going to be a tough one. I think I keep both in hand. How many? Yeah, I keep both lands in hand. So what? How do I get punished? I get punished if I hit like synthesizer, and I have to sacrifice for the 3-mana ability as well. The opponent missed the land drop once more. I draw Galvanic Blast. I attack. Opponent trades off with 3 tokens. Take 2 down to 3. Not dead yet. Okay. Yeah, that was just terrible. My opponent couldn't find a land, and I drew a million lands, and then I found the Bushwhacker to win. That was unreasonable. Okay, so we're playing against the Mono Red Mirror. Let's bring in the Sweepers. Let's bring out at least a Bushwhacker. Let's bring out the Grenade. And what did I bring out last time? A Chain Lightning, maybe, because it's like the least reliable burn spell. I think that I like that strategy. Okay, we somehow find ways to win, even though the circumstances aren't always pretty. Yeah, this hand is a keep. This hand is just you. If this is a Great Furnace, it does a lot for the hand. It makes the Tomb Raider big, and you have an artifact to sacrifice for the rebirth. So it's definitely it has room for improvement. So let's see what the opponent can do here with more than just one land. Tomb Raider. So now the question is, should I kill that card or play my own Tomb Raider? It's always tough. So what do I see in my future? I drew another brick. So with having a couple of bricks right now, I can see just stalling out the game being a good strategy. If I play this, the opponent is highly likely to just have a random removal spell for it, and I might start taking damage. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play what I believe is the percentages here, and that is that my opponent can easily clear the Tomb Raider, and I don't want to start taking combat damage if I don't have to. So obviously there is a world where Galvanic Blast and Seal of Fire are both, better ways to kill Tomb Raider. But in general, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Like, because Lightning Bolt is 3 to the dome, those cards are 2 to the dome. You can use that as an argument for Lightning Bolt being a bit more premier. But yeah, let's see. Okay, Rebirth is good. But I play 4 Sweepers. So I definitely have good options. Speaking of good options, maybe I want to go play that, get an artifact. I'm actually going to, because I don't have the Sweeper, I'm actually going to attack here. Because I believe that card is getting killed. Anyway, so I might as well get in the damage. And there's a Seal, confirming my suspicion. Off it goes. Oh, even Galvanic on that card. That's interesting. So what does that tell me? What a draw. Let me finish that sentence. The opponent used Galvanic Blast to kill Epicure. That's interesting. Because generally, Galvanic Blast could be 4 to the dome later, but it's not looking like it. So it's 2 to the dome. So it's better for the opponent to keep a 1-1 in play than let me trade. Okay. The opponent could have Sweeper, but this is kind of making me cautiously optimistic they don't have a Sweeper. And yeah, hopefully we get in for 8 here. Like, we know that for sure. And then the question is if those guys stay in play. Well, okay, not 8, I guess. We get in for 6 here, but it's still pretty good trade of cards, right? The opponent has 1 card left. So this will come down to, can the opponent find a Sweeper? I guess it will come down to, can I find a Sweeper? Okay. Second Kuldota is very, very strong. So, yeah, now we just have a highly skill-intensive showdown where whoever draws the Sweeper first is going to be highly favored. Let's see what the opponent can find off the Synthesizer. Mountain is hopefully a bad draw. Galvanic Blast on that one. Huh. So now I have a tough decision. Because can I win this game if I go triple block, take 3 to 11, ult the Samurai end of turn? Yeah, then I'm just 1 artifact away from stabilizing. So neither of us found a Sweeper this game, which is kind of cool. That's a very good draw for me. So let's Kuldota, draw Lightning Bolt. It's always a solid draw, right? It's no Sweeper, but it is a Lightning Bolt. Now this is too funny. Because we're both in the same spot. Like, he'll attack, and I'll block. And then if we draw the Sweeper afterwards, we kind of cry. Yeah, I don't have the Sweeper, buddy. And I think it's better to have a Lightning Bolt in hand than a 1-1 in play, but also something I can be convinced is wrong. Nice mountain. So, yeah, we have another game where we basically traded off resources. And here we are. I'll play that out because of cards like Synthesizer, because of cards like Reckless Impulse, where you get to see more cards and you have a limited time window. Bushwhacker. Okay. I mean, it's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. The opponent's left with a 1-1 here. I do Lightning Bolt that one because in the future it can be a good source of damage. Yeah, I'm definitely behind here, but it's possible to get some draws that gets me back into this game. Basic Mountain is definitely not one of them. I have a feeling my opponent has a burn spell and a land in hand. I kind of need my opponent to keep drawing that stuff, I guess. This is problematic. I'm at 4 now. I'll most likely die to any burn spell if I've read my opponent's hand correctly, and I'm forced to find a sweeper right now, which I didn't. Okay. I guess we just make the opponent show the chain lightning or lightning bolt. Yeah, this is definitely not the way to win the game. Like lightning, using burn spells on bushwhackers that kind of already did the job. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So it comes down to game 3. So the thing about the bushwhacker is it's so situational. You can make the argument that at worst it's a 2-mana 2/1 with haste. And that kind of makes it viable. I think I like my approach. Yeah, I think I like this approach. All right, let's see if we can do it game 3 here. This is not a pretty hand. This hand is hoping to like line up well against some Forge Master stuff. I called it Forge Master again. Too bad. Yeah. I don't know about this. Implement is not bad. Okay. But it's cool. You know, now that's the only important thing about communication. You know, if you just have to know what I mean. So when I say Forge Master, you know, I'm talking about Hildotha Rebirth. So let's see, that card gets in. Take that damage. Yeah, let's draw a card. Like, we need to get something going here, I feel like. Draw a mountain, draw a mountain. Oh boy. This is terrible. Let's end the festivities. So, yeah, now I'm in a spot where I need my opponent to have, like, Forge Master, Jesus Christ, I called it a Forge Master. Can't get around that. I need my opponent to make tokens, play Bushwhacker, stuff along those lines. And kind of get them with Electrickery, but yeah, this is just terrible. Okay. That's kind of anticlimactic, but it is a serious fail rate of the deck that if you don't get a good land spell ratio and you get some like filtering with bloods, etc., you just don't even look like a Magic deck. The opponent doesn't have any, you know, recurring sources of damage right now, so that's like my only hope, that I all of a sudden start drawing synthesizers, draw twos, etc. Tomb Raider that's going to get killed on sight, but I mean, what am I going to do? Not play it? We have an equal amount of cards in hand, but the opponent has synthesizers, which do represent value and tutus. Okay, like here's the turn I was hoping for, I guess. The dream is the opponent goes one more rebirth, but I think we take this as well. We get to trade favorably there. Here's another one. Okay. Yeah, that's the card you were supposed to play last turn, buddy. I'm not sure I like... I mean, I obviously like pairing pairing those two. But I'm not sure I like sacrificing Synthesizer that will grant value like later on when you can sacrifice Implement in that spot. I think it's better to leave Synthesizer in play, but who knows? The opponent got the job done here. Kind of a boring game 3, right? I kept the 4-lander. didn't exactly work out, and yeah, we easily lost to a way better draw. Like, yeah, the opponent had a good draw. I had a terrible draw. That's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes you can kind of make the percentages better by playing well, but yeah, that wasn't the case here. Yeah, that's what happens. All right, I think I did a. It was cool to kind of showcase the power of this deck and the weaknesses even. I'm excited to. I think this will. So let me just say this. I think this deck is going to be a huge chunk of the metagame on Saturday in the showcase challenge. So definitely plan accordingly. You don't want to have a bad mono red matchup and go into a big Pauper tournament where the dynamics are. A lot of like Pauper regulars will play. They might have their favorite deck, but let's say you're a modern Pioneer grinder and you're like, oh, there's a Pauper showcase. I can afford a Pauper deck. What's good in Pauper? That's easy to learn. And on top of that list, decks like Mono Red, decks like Boggles, they definitely are and they thrive there. So definitely be ready for a huge chunk of Mono Red. So yeah, don't leave home without a bunch of Hydroblasts, some Sweepers, and yeah, good luck in that tournament. Thanks so much for watching today. I will probably play more Pauper during the week, to be honest. I really enjoy that format, and yeah, I'll just see if you guys like it as well. As always, thanks so much for watching, and see you tomorrow, guys.